Hey guys, this is Goldy again, and in this video, let's talk about the G Suite domain-wide delegation. Now, what happens is there are two scenarios. One is that if you want your users to install any application, option one is that you allow them to install that application, and when they go sign up for that application, they can install by giving their consent, which is also called three-legged auth. Now, other option is maybe if you have lots of users, you do not want to do that. So just to make the experience seamless, as an admin, you can install that application on behalf of all of those users. And this is called two-legged auth, where you are authorizing the application to access your users' data. So you again do it in two ways. One is if that application is available in G Suite Marketplace, you just go there and install that application for your full domain or for all of users. And then the second option is maybe if that application is not registered in G Suite Marketplace, maybe it's a third-party application that needs to access data for your users. So they will give you the client ID or the OAuth client ID, and they will tell you to go ahead and whitelist that ID along with a list of scopes. So you will just go and enter that in your managed API settings to give them access. And let me show my screen to make more sense. So for example, if I click on G Suite Marketplace from my admin console here, and let's say if I search for maybe Salesforce, assuming they have one, so data connector for Salesforce. If I go here, because I'm an admin, it gives me two options, either install just for myself, which means three-legged auth, or the domain install, which means I will install it on behalf of my users. So as an admin, I'm giving this application authorization to access data for my users. So when you do this, that's the first option. Now, second option is if that app is not available in G Suite Marketplace, you will go to your security section, you will go to settings, and under these settings, you will go to managed or advanced settings, and then manage API client access, where that third-party provider will give you a client ID which they have registered with Google, and then you will come here, enter that specific client ID, and then you will tell Google which scopes are you authorizing this client ID to access to, and then you will authorize it, and then you will see all of them here. But in case if that that is they do not have the OAuth client screen configured, you will see these random numbers or weird looking numbers, and you have no idea which specific application do they belong to. You do not want to just go ahead and remove them, because if you do, and if that application is doing something critical for you, you might get stuck. Now, if an application has followed the best practices, especially if that is available in G Suite Marketplace, for example, Apps, you will see the name. But if these are like your internal applications where you just created service accounts and provided domain-wide delegation without configuring the auth consent screen, even for admins, you will see those client IDs. So to figure out, what you can do is you will copy the client ID, and then within your G Suite admin console, you will again go to security, and under security, ideally you should see app access control. Click on that, and this is like a workaround to get this. So here you will click on manage third-party access, and it gives you an option to whitelist any specific client ID. So when you click on add app, you will see OAuth app name or client ID. We do not have the name, we need to figure out the name. So but we can also like give client ID here, which we just copied. When we paste the client ID here, it says search. So ideally it should search in Google's own system and give us the name. So when you search for it, it will tell you that it belongs to new directory sync, which you have, which is the application name. Now, whether that application belongs to your internal or external, that's like a second step you need to figure out. Go to your Google Cloud Platform console and see if you have that application. If not, then it's external. What else? Let's do one more. So maybe I can click this one, which is, and then let's come back here, put it, and make sure when you search it, there should not be any space after the client ID ends. So I'll put this back, and then I search it, and it tells me that this belongs to test application. So similarly, you can search all your application. It's not scalable, but at least it will give you some context. So this belongs to that one. And then based on this ID and then this app name, then you can go to your cloud platform console, and here you should be able to see if that belongs to any of your projects. For example, if I go to my project, new directory sync, and if I go to credentials, I can see if I have those applications here, and then I can relate to that. So not a scalable way, but still will give you some context, especially if you have the client IDs and you're trying to figure out the application name. Hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, feel free to put that under this video and I'll be happy to help. Thank you so much.